Test 1, 2. Good morning, everybody. We're going to get ready for meditation, so that starts in about 2 seconds. And good morning, everybody. My name is Brother Mark. I'm one of the licensed practitioners here at CSL Redlands. And I welcome you here in the sanctuary to our meditation service and those who are watching remotely. And so I just invite you to become mindful of your posture. And let's just have some good posture with our back up straight, sitting comfortably in the space that you created for yourself. You may want to have your palms up, just laying easily on your thighs. And let's just take some easy inhales in together and some easy exhales out. Just at your own pace. Easy inhales in. And gentle and deliberate exhales out. And this time we breathe in the breath of God. And let's exhale out anything that does not match that perfect breath of God. And let's breathe in together divine health and perfect wholeness. As we exhale out anything and everything that does not match divine health and perfect wholeness. We just simply return to our normal breathing pattern, which is a reminder of the omnipresence of Spirit, the omnipresence of the divine. And invite you to simply find that place within you this day that is the key to our freedom that will be spoken about later, which is that there is that place within you that has never been, nor could ever be, hurt or harmed or endangered in any way. And that is our essence and the core of us. And I invite you in this meditation time to just infuse it with your own unconditional love. See it glowing and radiating with white and perfect love, twinkling lights of wholeness and health and abundance and wealth and joy and prosperity and good. Just infuse that place within you as a muscle, for indeed it is a spiritual muscle. And as we lay into it, we can make it bigger and bolder and thicker and wider to protect us, to surround us, to infuse us with our highest and best good. And so let's simply rest in this place of the Most High, each breath sinking deeper into it, each breath allowing it to be infused with what's most needed right here and right now for your soul's perfect journey at this very moment in time. We rest in this knowing and allow each breath to sink us even deeper into this place and space now. Gentle inhales in, easy exhales out. And we sink into this place, this truth of us, this spiritual muscle that is always waiting to protect and serve us, always waiting to set us free for our highest and best good. We sink into this place willingly and knowingly, infusing it with unconditional love, divine light, and our own surrender to it. prepare a space within you, just as you would in a garden. Planting seeds, arranging the soil, fertilizing for your highest and best good. Cultivating an understanding that permits and allows for healing, for transformation, for revelation, for manifestation, all for your highest and best good now. Allow yourself to receive all that is meant to be yours right here and right now, for your highest and best good. Consider being willing to allow yourself to receive all the good, all the good, all of your good. And how good it is to rest in this awareness and this stillness and the sacred silence of this recalling of the I am that I am. And so just inviting you now to return to normal breathing pattern. Just pay attention to your breathing. Easy inhales in again and easy exhales out. And with the next inhale, becoming just more aware of your time and this time and place and space. Bringing your awareness and attention and consciousness back to the body temple in its full. You may want to tap your toes to the ground, your fingertips together. I saw some moving lips around, making sure you can feel your face. And in your own time, and when you're ready, just allow gently and easily for the outer eye to open. Allow for the outer eyes to open. And we keep the inner eye open as we continue our Sunday celebration service. How good it is to be with you all in the stillness and silence. It's an honor and privilege. Namaste.
Welcome. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. And my soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. And my soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Greet your neighbor. My soul is welcome here. 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 My soul is welcome, and my soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. Getting the message loud and clear. Getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Here's Brother Mark.
Hey, welcome everybody. And thank you, Gilman. Good morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Redlands. My name is Brother Mark. I'm one of the licensed practitioners and a member of the board. Our center is an open and inclusive community that honors all people from every background, all races, sexual orientations, gender expressions, and spiritual paths. No matter who you are or where you are on your journey of faith, you are always welcome here. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. And our vision is a world that works for everyone. If you're here with us for the first time, please raise your hand and give us a wave. Anybody? Everybody's been here before, and there's many of you, and I thank you for being here in person. And we welcome and thank those who are watching remotely on Facebook Live and YouTube. So welcome to our service today. Please enjoy the beautiful music and message. And now here's Gilman with our centering music.
It's in every one of us to be wise. Find your heart, open up both your eyes. We can all know everything without ever knowing how. It's in every one of us here and now. It's in every one of us to be free. Find your heart, open your eyes and see. We can all know everything without ever knowing why. It's in every one of us, you and I. It's in every one of us, you and I.
So I just invite you to turn within, however that's comfortable for you. Just let's exhale out together everything that's preceded this moment in time, just literally letting it go with our breath. And as we inhale in a divine breath, a God breath. And as we exhale out anything and everything that does not match that perfect divine God breath. Just let it go. Anything that's on a to-do list, anything that's heavy on your heart, just let it go. It'll be there after service. Just give yourself this very moment in time. And we inhale in joy and love and peace. And we exhale out anything and everything that does not match joy and love and peace. And so we return to our normal breathing now, reminded that the power and the presence, the love, the grace, the divine is at hand right here and right now. It's nearer to us than our breathing. It's closer to us than our hands and feet. It is the very truth of our center and our core, and it is from this place of unity and oneness that I speak a word of blessing this day for this center, this center that is an idea in the mind of God and therefore is maintained and sustained right on time, every time, for every one of our needs to be met here as a physical structure and as a spiritual entity that provides and serves not only Redlands, but the entire world. And so I just call forth for great unconditional love and joy to surround each person who's within the sound of my voice now. I call forth for healings, for health and wholeness, vitality, wisdom, and vigor, for all those who are caretakers, all those who are caregivers, and all those who are receiving care. We know that this is the greatest honor of life is to care for another who at one time cared for you. And so I just call forth for patience and unconditional love and surrender and wisdom and guidance for each person who does such sacred service in this world. I call forth for all those who are in need of housing and food to be fed and homed and housed. I call forth for there to be peace where there is war throughout the world. See that in your mind's eye now. Join me in seeing that together. I call forth for the ease of the recovery of whatever's happening in Surfside, Florida. My goodness. When an entire 12-story building just collapses. Wow. So I call forth for miracles to take place and look ordinary. For indeed it will take a miracle as that work continues each moment and each day. I call forth for blessings to surround those who, from the newborns to those who have had losses and transitions to the eternal side of life. For I know that that is part of the circle of life that happens and unfolds each day. I call forth for every prayer that's in your heart to be answered, for I know that it is before the last word of this prayer is uttered, for it is Spirit, it is God that made you perfect, whole, and complete. Just say with me together, I am perfect, I am whole, I am complete. Yes, I know this to be the truth of you. I know this to be the truth of each person watching remotely. It is with a joy-filled and heart filled with gratitude that I speak this word to the law of life. I know it is fulfilled. I know that anything that I may in the human have forgotten to speak out loud is spoken now in the divine mind. It is spoken now in the heart of the divine, and it is done as well with equal power. And I invite you to say together with me, and so it is. And so, good morning. Today's reading comes from The Science of Mind, page 485, available in the office. Reverend Carrie brought 4 or 5 that if you were ready for it, please see any of us after service. And it goes like this. As the inner light dawns, it delivers the outer life from bondage. This is in line with the teaching that everything is from within out. When the soul knows freedom, the law will free the body, and their outer life will express health, happiness, and success. All things work for our good. Even that which we call evil is salutary, leading us to the way, the truth, and the life. There's a capital W, T, and L. I'm going to read that again. Even that which we call evil is salutary, leading us to the way, the truth, and the life. Suffering should teach us a lesson which would cause us to refrain from making more mistakes. It carries a blessing with it when we learn how to garner knowledge from experience. And is it okay if we do a bonus reading? So this also comes from The Science of Mind, page 280 to 281, and it's about faith. Our prayers are answered according to the level of our belief. Belief tips the scales. Prayer does something to the mind of the one praying. It does not do anything to God. We do not have to pray God to be God. God is God. We are surrounded by an intelligent law, a divine law, which responds to us to the degree we believe. If our belief is limited, only a little can come to us. God never chooses to answer one person's prayer and not another's.
You can hear it if you try. 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 What's that I hear now ringing in my ears? I've heard that sound before. What's that I hear now ringing in my ears? I hear it more and more. It's the sound of freedom calling, ringing up to the skies. It's the sound of old ways of falling. You can hear it if you try. You can hear it if you try. What's that I see now shining in my eyes? I've seen that light before. What's that I feel now, beating in my heart? I've felt that beat before. It's the rumble of freedom calling, climbing up to the skies. It's the rumble of new ways of calling. You can feel it if you try. 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 Phil Oakes wrote that. Here's Reverend Carrie.
Thank you, Gilman. Doesn't it feel like, for those of you who were here last Sunday, doesn't Gilman look kind of lonely up here? Yeah. Oh, gosh, we had, yeah, all the guys were here, and it was wonderful. We missed you if you weren't here, but I do know that you were in your right place just like we were, so it's all good. Today, we're talking about our soul's call to freedom. And of course, next Sunday is July 4th when we celebrate our nation's freedom. And isn't that wonderful? So today I want to share with you a statement from the Center for Spiritual Living Global Vision. It says this: "We see a world in which each and every person lives in alignment with his or her highest spiritual principle, emphasizing unity with God and connection with each other, a world in which individually and collectively we are called to a higher state of consciousness and action." That is the CSL Global Vision. That's part of the North Star that we as Centers for Spiritual Living are working toward where freedom is concerned. Now, if we are to see a world, it says at the front of that statement, we see a world in which, and then they describe it. So if we are to see that, I feel that we need to personalize it and put it in the first person. Ernest Holmes wrote so many wonderful books. One of them is This Thing Called You, and another is This Thing Called Life. Both of those books, if you read them in the first person, it really gets in there. Sticks like Velcro. Love it. So we're going to put this statement into the first person. I've massaged it just a little. And it says this: "I live in a world in which all people live in alignment with their highest spiritual principle, emphasizing unity with God and connection with others. I am called to a higher state of consciousness and action." That's a pretty tall order, isn't it? Yes. It is a pretty tall order. But when we allow ourselves to be in that higher state of consciousness, there's an inner light that begins to shine. And we are taken from where we have been to a new place in our consciousness. It's very important for us to always strive to reach a higher state in our thought and in our actions. And how do we do that? How do we reach a higher state in our thought? Well, one of the things that I think that we can do is to switch our thinking when we start going down the road of negativity into scarcity and fear and so on and so forth. Switch all of that and bring it back to the truth with a capital T. The truth is that it's all God, even the stuff that is taking us down that negativity road. It is God, because we're able to bring ourselves away from that and into a place of absolutely knowing the truth that we are, as Brother Mark said a moment ago, we are all whole, perfect, and complete on every level, including in our thought. So we deliver ourselves out of bondage into freedom by allowing ourselves to let that light within us shine brightly, to shine, that light of awareness that comes when we find ourselves thinking or judging someone else negatively. I'm sure none of us in this room have ever done that, but I have from time to time. And what I know is that when we find ourselves in that place of negative thinking, negative judgment, thinking that the other person is wrong, what we're doing is staying in the bondage of that negativity, and we want to get out of that. Because last week I explained that suffering is optional. We're here, and we might as well have a good time here. I was told one time by one of my teachers that Earth is the party planet. So we get to be here in joy, and so we might as well have a good time rather than suffering and struggling and being in those places in our own mind that keep us stuck there. Ernest Holmes tells us that the law, which is what he terms as the creative medium of the universe, will free the body. Now, what does he mean by that? What he's saying is that the outer life begins to express health, happiness, and success. You see, we're connected with ourselves, and we've got to start there. So we're connected with ourselves in body, mind, and spirit. So we get to be anything we want to be because our soul is calling us to that. And when we allow ourselves to move away from all the negativity and move away from all the doubt and fear and really do what it is that we feel called to do, that will lift us into a state of freedom in our consciousness. I would rather live there than in the other place. And the way that we do this, the way that we really connect this all together, is to be who we are. I know that there are people in the world who have been kind of forced or influenced by adults around them to do certain things in a certain way because it's the way we've always done it in this family unit. But it doesn't sing to the soul of the person being told they have to do it like that, or they have to take a particular class, or they have to be a particular profession, such as a doctor or a nurse or some other profession that just doesn't sing to them. We are all called to be here to do something more than we have ever dreamed. And this more is what will bring our soul to a place of freedom. Now, if we're not too sure how to actually be who we truly are, we could watch kids for a little while. Kids are good teachers about that. They will show you how to hula hoop, doesn't matter where they are, We have two beautiful children here today, Ed's niece and nephew. Hi. they're, yeah. Sophia and Elijah are back there. And they, just because they are children, they are able to express themselves more fully. And they can teach us how to do that in every moment. They're probably back there creating something wonderful. And we could do that. We can do anything we want to. We really can. I know I've spoken about her before, but I'm very proud of my oldest daughter, Wendy. Wendy is a beautiful woman, and she has written a book. And the book is actually a photo project. She is very much into photography. And so she wanted to do a book about the butch femme, how a butch woman and a femme woman look in the world. Because she is lesbian, she's butch, she had no pictures of anyone, so she had no idea what she was supposed to look like. You know, oftentimes we go into a room and we find people who look like us so we can gravitate toward them. We might not realize it, but subconsciously we do that. So Wendy took it upon herself to contact people in her gay lesbian community. She traveled all over the country, took pictures of couples and singles, and they actually helped her write a small bio of them in her book. Her book is very thin. It's called The Butch Femme Photo Project. And had I been able to find it in my storage unit, I would have brought it today. But you know, the first time I looked through that book, and I had many conversations with Wendy because she was my first contact with someone of that persuasion. So I thought I'm pretty hip. I can look at this book. So I looked through these beautiful pictures of these beautiful people and read their bios. And at first I was like, oh. And then I realized, look how beautiful this diverse group of people is. So it took me a little while to get even more and more comfortable with how they express themselves. But I was able to do it because of Wendy's book. And this book has helped others in their process of coming out as gay, lesbian, and in their process of figuring out, well, how am I supposed to act in the world? How does that work? And by her leadership in what she did, she was able to help many others come through their coming out process. And today, she identifies, I think, as male. She looks like my son, who's quite handsome, I must say. But she's also a woman, and I think, I didn't ask her, but I think she uses the she, her pronouns. But you see, she decided to be herself. And she acted on that to help make the world understand who she was. There's a wonderful statement: be yourself, the world will adapt. It's so true. Oh my goodness. And so there's so much for us to truly understand about people who don't look like us. The people who are in our Black community, we have a lot to learn still about them, and the people who are of other nationalities and speak other languages. There's a lot for us to learn. But that's okay, because what's happening is there's more of a coming out for all of us to really see who these people are and see that they are being themselves, and it gives us permission to be ourselves. Lady Gaga is a wonderful example of that. A singer, a performer, and dressed in all those wild costumes. And when I saw her in on a television show, I think, and I saw her as just her, I thought, wow, she's really quite beautiful. And in school, apparently, she was the ugly duckling. But one of her songs, she says, I'm beautiful in my way, 'cause God makes no mistakes. I'm on the right track, baby. I was born that way. We're all born to fit in. We're not born to fit in. We're born to stand out. Yeah. And so if we stand out, if we look different, act different, then we are being ourselves, our own true self. I live with my youngest daughter, and she has a teenager. He just turned 17 yesterday, which is hard to believe, because the last time I saw him, he was like this. No, he's taller than I am now. But he has a group of friends. All of the kids have a wonderful group of friends, and one of them dresses a little differently, has long fingernails, has eyeshadow, and he is quite nice. He is such a sweetheart. But he's kind of glittery. There's glitter around him. So I love that about him. And you see, before, maybe in my time before I got into science of mind, I would have been judgmental. But not anymore. What a beautiful expression of God. Okay. So, our society has learned from a lot of things that have gone on in the past where people who look different from us are concerned. Our society is learning to understand more what is really happening and how these people are expressing, and they're bringing out their uniqueness and their outrageousness. And it's good, because if we don't have variety in all of the people on our planet, wouldn't it be boring? I mean, there's so much. There's so many expressions of God. And we are part of that expression of God. So the mistakes that we've made in the past as a society with things that have gone on, well, actually, the mistakes that our society has made as we move forward at this time, it's helping us to see what we can do better. It's helping us to really understand how we can allow others to have the freedom to be themselves. It allows us to understand how we can have the freedom to be ourselves. You see, God created us for a purpose, and we're free to express that. We get to choose. God gave us choice. The world is waiting for our uniqueness and the things that we can express, the things that we do. In the wonderful book, The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer, he said the prerequisite to true freedom is to decide that you don't want to suffer anymore. Amen to that. You must decide you want to enjoy your life, and there's no reason for any inner stress or pain or fear. So, in order for us to not show up in pain or stress or fear, is to allow our soul to express itself in all of its glory. It's the time now for us to show up authentically. This is the time that we can do that. And it gives everyone else permission to do the same. It's serving by example, like Jesus. He was the great example. And so if we want to have more peace in the world and more unity in the world and more joy in the world, what do we need to do? Maybe we need to be joy, be peace, and be that unity. Allow ourselves to really know that we are one with the divine in every way. The divine has created us from its image and likeness. And if we ever feel different, we can always remember that the divine is within us. There was a time in my life, back a ways, where I felt like for about an hour, I thought I was adopted. I was probably a teenager when I had this idea, because my sister and her family were so different. I really didn't have a lot in common with them. And then I thought, maybe I'm just adopted. I don't know. But then I went home and I looked in the mirror, and there was my mother's and father's face combined. I went, no, I'm not adopted. And what I understood was then that I needed to embrace who they were for who they were. And my sister was, and probably still is on the third balcony, a very large personality and a little bit overwhelming to me. I'm an introvert, she was an extrovert. Holy cow, what a difference we were. And what I realized is that if I would just embrace her for who she is, that would give me the opportunity to love her as God has loved each one of us. Is there someone in your life that you can do that with today? Is there someone that might feel like they're a little bit too out there for you to really love? Well, if there is, I invite you to just allow yourself to embrace them. Just do this, just like I'm doing now, and imagine your arms around them, loving them as much as you can. Yeah. And then let that God presence within them express as they need to express, or express as they want to express. Wow. Be yourself. Be yourself. My dad always told me, be yourself. And if you want to do something, go ahead and try it. See if it'll work. And that's when I stepped into being a square dance caller. Wow, I didn't know I could do that. But I was able to do that. And it became a lifelong avocation for me. And coming into ministry, I was scratching my head going, a square dance caller and a minister? How's that going to work? I could. And so I started bringing square dancers into my services, and one time I had a square of them on the stage where I was minister at the time. And we played with that, and I demonstrated how the law works with them. So you see, there's so many gifts that we have to give that we can allow ourselves to just express who we are all the time. And the other thing that we can do is to let go of suffering. I read a story in the Science of Mind magazine in one of the daily guides this month. Reverend David Alt, wonderful author, he told about a time when he was having some financial difficulties, and he had some bills that needed to be paid, and he went to his kitchen table and he was just looking at all these bills and some disconnect notices, and he just put his head in his hands and he said, I just don't know what to do. And a voice came to him and said, your mother always paid the bill. Oh, no, where did your mother always pay the bills? And he thought, well, that's an interesting question. And he realized that she always paid them at the kitchen table and always had a difficult time because they had some financial issues while he was growing up. So he realized that he was taking on her energy. He wasn't being himself. So he started writing out the checks, got all the checks written out, and then he just went outside into nature and took a walk and began to say thank you. For every bill that he wrote, he said, thank you. And he was thanking the infinite within him and around him in nature. He got back home after a while. He did this with every bill, by the way. And he got back home and he received a phone call from a person who explained to him that he had some money coming and they were going to be sending it right away. It was within $20 of paying all of those bills. You see, he was, by stepping into gratitude, he was letting go of suffering. And he never had to worry about that again. So our spiritual practice this week, be ourselves. Woohoo! And let go of suffering and struggle. If you find yourself saying, oh, I just really struggle with this, or I'm really suffering with this pain in my knee, stop it. Just stop doing that. And know the truth about yourself. You are the image and likeness of the divine, yes? Yes. All right, let's affirm that. I am the image and likeness of the divine. All right. That was nice. I'd like you to stand up, please. Everybody gets to stand up. Oh, feels good. All right. This time, with gusto, I am the image and likeness of the divine. Yes, you are. I am the image and likeness of the divine. Yes. I consciously and confidently stand in my power and I live my truth. And so it is. Yay, God.
dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. Feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, well, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. Feeling good. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean. Butterflies all having fun, well, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is done. That's just what I mean. And this whole world is a new world, and a new world for me. Stars, when you shine, you know how I feel. Sent to the pine, well, you know how I feel. Freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Yes, I'm feeling good. Feeling Anthony Newley.
All right. Thank you very much, Gilman. That was just beautiful, as always. Gilman Carver, everybody. And if you have not yet seen or heard the Dream Band, which next week, can we add a name for, can we call them the Freedom Band?
Sure.
All right. We're going to call them the Dream Band and the Freedom Band. They're going to be here next week, so you should show up right in person if you can. It's awesome. And then afterward, if you'd like to bring a dish to share, we had a really beautiful potluck. We'll do that again. And they played bonus songs.
Yes.
How's that? I don't think they take requests yet.
No, we're not quite there yet.
But they're awesome. So it really blows the roof off the place. So you could check it online too. I think you could go to our Facebook page and click on the videos to just see how incredibly good they were. And so today at 3 p.m. we have a different kind of music right here in the center. You're invited to join us for a 1 hour long recital of the talented students in Becky's Violin Studio. That's at 3 p.m. today, so 3 to 4 p.m. right here. Next Sunday, July 4th, Brother Mark will be the guest speaker, and the Dream Band will be back with us again. Really? That's going to be crazy. I can't believe you trust us when you're gone on your road trip. So we're gonna know for Reverend Carrie, and who you're going with a friend, right? Best girl. They have safe travels. Let's just see that now. Wherever they go, let it be joy-filled and return to us with ease and grace. Enjoy that trip. That's going to be awesome. That's like a movie. Isn't that a movie script? Somebody went on a road trip with their friend. And I know that Oprah did that with Gail one time. They went on a journey. So, and they still speak with each other, and they're close. That's good. So beginning Tuesday night, oh wait, you're going to be back August 1st. So the third Sunday of July will be, everybody knows Renee Hart, one of our licensed practitioners. She will be here speaking that day. And I will be doing the services like today, the meditation and the reading and all that. And then Joe's helping us with meditations. We thank you, Joe, for stepping up to that. Are you signed up in practitioner classes? Okay, so that's awesome. We need 20 more Joes and like Joes. So whoever you are, show up. It's time, right? It's time for that. So beginning Tuesday night, July 6th at 6:30 p.m., Frankie Jones will be facilitating a 4-week book study on Zoom, and it's on the 4 agreements. You know that book? So you can contact Frankie, Frankie, Frankie Jones, Jones, at gmail.com to sign up and for further information. Wednesday night service is our midweek spiritual boost with Renee Hart. Renee leads us in a lovely meditation and inspires us with weekly inspirational messages. You can go to Facebook Live for that or YouTube every Wednesday, 7 to 8 p.m. And you're invited to join us after service today for fellowship. We so appreciate you being here in service. It feels good to be together, doesn't it? All right. And now Reverend Carrie will do the offertory. Let's go. Thank you, everybody.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. There I am. Okay. It's time now for our offering, and this is the time when we get to give back to where we receive our spiritual nourishment. And I do know that we are so blessed in this center to have such a powerful group of people who have come together to provide spiritual nourishment for our community and beyond. So if you're watching us on Facebook Live or YouTube, you can go to our website at cslredlands.org and click on the donate button to give using that. And you can also give clicking on the donate button on the Facebook page. We also receive tithes and offerings through Venmo, Zelle, and PayPal, and we even take cash and checks. Wow. So however you wish to give and however much you wish to give, just know that your gift is a divine blessing to not only this center, but to you and many, many others. So let's, as our ushers come forward, let's repeat our offering affirmation together. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and my belief. It does great work in the world. And it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is.
As I give, so do I receive, joyfully, gratefully. As I give, so do I receive, fully and freely. God is a river where abundance flows. Stepping into it, I accept and know. As I give, so do I receive. As I give, so do I receive.
Beautiful. Thank you, Gilman. And thanks to all of you who have given this morning. We're going to take a moment to bless our offering here in the center and out in the world online. So we just come together to know the truth that God is our source. God is all there is, and God is the abundance and the prosperity that we know as the truth of our life. And so as we have given, we know that we receive abundantly and beyond all imagination. So we bless every gift, knowing that they do their perfect work to make this world a better place. So I give thanks for all that has been given to everyone who has given. And I just know it is good and very good. And so we can say together, and so it is. All right. It's time for our closing healing prayer. So I'm going to invite you to join me in prayer once again. With those beautiful outer eyes closed and that ever amazing inner eye open to see the truth of life itself. And so we know that there is only one life, one power, one presence, one infinite love, one divine joy and beauty and abundance and peace. All of the aspects of God are already present within the universe. And these aspects of God are the aspects of every creation, every flower, every grain of sand, every blade of grass. This presence and power has created all that we can see and all that we can't see. It has created our life, our bodies, our souls, our spirit, our mind. It has created all things, and we are one with it, just as we are one with that presence of creation that has brought us to this time and this place. We are one with each other and one with all life around us. And I know that for each of us, that there is a presence and a power expressing through and as us in every moment. I know for each of us that we are blessed with absolute perfection on every level. I know that we are whole and perfect and complete, and we are the divine expressions of that infinite one that we call God. And I know for each of us that we are blessed with abundance on every level, that every need is already supplied. I know for everyone within our circle of friends and family, everyone is blessed with wholeness. Their wholeness shines through in every area of their life. And I bring into this consciousness our beautiful Dr. Ruth Wilkerson, knowing that this beautiful being is that shining light of the divine. And I know for her family who cares for her that there is a sense of knowing that God is at the center of all that they do and all that she does. And so I know that there's a healing happening for not only Ruth, but for every family member and for each of us. I speak my word for all of those who we may know who need shelter at this time. We might want to call them houseless, for they have a home in the universe. And this home is revealing to them their blessed place to reside. And I know that everyone that we know and people that we don't know, they're already cared for in the mind and the heart of spirit. I speak my word for this center. I know that this center is moving forward in thriving and living in that abundant life that not only attracts those who are willing to raise their consciousness and become one with that infinite life, but it attracts those who are ready to heal others. And so we attract the perfect practitioners. We attract the perfect minister. We attract the perfect members and the perfect children and the teachers and all things about this center. As we attract it, we are sending them out into the world to make the world a better place by means of their consciousness, by means of their showing up. And so I know for each of us this day that we show up as the divine in every way. And I know that each of us, as we show up as the divine, we are blessed and lifted up so that we can be our true, authentic self in every moment. So I give thanks for all that has been said here today in this prayer and beyond. I give thanks knowing that the law is already doing its perfect work to bring forth a manifestation of these words and all of the words spoken here this day. So I give thanks for all of it, and in that gratitude I release my word into that divine creative medium we know as the law. And the law always says yes. And so we say yes, yes, yes. And so it is. Yes. Thank you for joining me in that. And now we're going to have some sharing from our kids. So Elijah and Sophia are coming forward to share with us what they did today. All right. So why don't you stand a little forward over here? Yeah, right here.
Oh.
That one.
We did today that God is love and we are love. And so, Sophia, what did you make?
I made some, it means that God is love. I made the feathers for the animals, and the thing right here is for God is love.
Yeah. And she made, yes, and she made this for me.
Wow.
And what did you, Eliza?
I made an I love church sign.
You made an I love church sign. Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
That's beautiful. We love our children and we bless them. All right, and here's Gilman with our closing song.
There was a time in my life thought I had to do it all by myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. Now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you gotta let it go, let it all go. This is what you have to say. I release, I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Thanks. Come back next week for the Dream Band.